This is SREB, ready for high school math, lesson 2.6 on solving proportions. So let's get straight into it. So fractions that involve variables are often going to be called rational expressions. Rational expressions. So the reason why it's called rational expressions is because mainly the root word here, ratio. Okay, so a ratio is just another word for a fraction. Okay, so anytime that we have an expression, keep in mind an expression is any kind of a combination of a variable and a constant. So it could be something as simple as just x, or it could be something like x plus 2. So a rational expression will be something that is dealing with fractions with the exponent, or excuse me, not the exponent, the variable. So something like we can maybe see like x over 2 plus 1. This would be an example of a rational expression where the variable has some kind of a fraction dealing with it. So another thing that we'll see is a proportion. So a proportion will be an equation that will contain one or two rational expressions. Basically, taking two ratios, which you might hear me sometimes shorten it instead of just a rational expression, maybe just a ratio or a fraction, setting two fractions equal to one another. Okay, so something maybe in the case of 2 over x is equal to 3 over 9. Okay, we have a fraction right here. We have a rational expression right here. So this one would be a little bit difficult for us to solve because it looks a lot different than any of our one-step, two-step, multi-step equations, and even our application problems and our literal equations. These looks a lot different than any of that. But we do have a really cool way that we can solve these things, and the way to do that is in order to solve a proportion, we are going to do this thing called cross multiplying. Okay, cross multiplying. This is something you guys have probably done before. Okay, maybe back in 7th and 8th grade math, cross multiply the fractions in order to remove them from the equation. Okay, so let's just get right into it and let's look at some examples of what this cross multiplying would look like. So first step, number one, we have y over y plus 1 is equal to 8 over 9. So when we cross multiply, what we do is we take the denominator of one fraction and we're going to multiply it to the numerator in the other fraction. And then we're going to do vice versa in the other, okay? So the denominator of the first fraction times the numerator on the other, and then the numerator on the first fraction times the denominator of the other. Hence the cross multiplying. So 8 times y plus 1. Now we might really want to say that is going to be 8y plus 1, but keep in mind, this 8 has to multiply to everything. So whenever we're multiplying these things together, we're always going to put one of them in parentheses just in case, okay? And if there's ever going to be two things here, okay? So if it's y plus 1, that one always goes in the parentheses, okay? So we get 8 times y plus 1. If there's two things here, that two things go in parentheses. If it's just a 1 and a 1, like this other case, 9 times y, it doesn't matter which one we put in parentheses. Okay? So we cross multiply those two together, and we're also going to set them equal to each other. So y over y plus 1 equals 8 over 9 becomes 8 times y plus 1 is equal to 9 times y. So we've gotten rid of the fractions, and we're just dealing with a multi-step equation now. So first up, let's get rid of these parentheses by distributing the coefficient in front of them, which is the 8. 8 times y will give me 8y. 8 times 1 will give me plus 8. And then 9 times y will just give me 9y. All right, now from here, two-step equation. We're going to get all of my y's over here. So I'm going to move my y's to the right side, so I'm going to get rid of the ones on the left by subtracting 8y. So I'll get 8 is equal to 1y. And that'll be my answer. And I could always go back and check to make sure that my answer works by plugging it in. So if I come back over here and I check my work, so plugging things in, I'll get 8 over 8 plus 1 is equal to 8 over 9. Okay, well this top part is just 8. And then 8 plus 1 is 9. So 8 over 9 equals 8 over 9. That is a true statement that makes sense. So y does indeed equal 8. All right, let's look at the next one. Number 2, 4 over w minus 2 is equal to negative 1 over y plus 3. All right, so we're going to cross multiply. Here to here, here to here. 4 times w plus 3, so we got two things here. So we'll put that in parentheses. 4 times w plus 3 is equal to negative 1 times w minus 2. Got two things here. Negative 1, or if you want to just put just negative, you can, but I'll go ahead and put negative 1 times w minus 2. So we got two sets of parentheses. We knock them out by distributing. 4 times w will give me 4w. 4 times 3 will give me plus 12 is equal to negative 1 times positive w, which will give me negative 1w, or just negative w. And negative 1 times negative 2 will give me positive 2. All right, so we've turned our proportion into a multi-step equation. I want all of my w's on one side, so I'll move them to the left. So let's get rid of this negative w by adding a w. So we add a w, we'll get 5w plus 12 is equal to, cancels out, 2. All right, now we get all of our constants on the other side. So we got to get rid of this plus 12 by subtracting 12. So we get 5w, 12's cancel out, is equal to negative 10. And then to finish it out, 5 times w, undo that by dividing by 5. So we get w is equal to negative 2. All right, next up, number 3. A minus 2 over 9 is equal to 2/3. So we're going to solve this proportion by same thing, cross multiply. We got two things here, a minus 2. Put it in parentheses. Put it in parentheses. Be careful with that. Put it in parentheses. 3 times a minus 2, put that in parentheses, is equal to 9 times 2, 18. Distribute the 3, get rid of the parentheses. 3a minus 6 equals 18. Okay? Get the minus 6 away from the 3a by adding 6. 3a equals 24. Get the a by itself by dividing by 3. A will equal 8. Okay, number 4. 3 over 3b plus 4 is equal to 2 over b minus 4. Cross multiply. All right, 3 times b minus 4. We got two things here. Put it in parentheses. 3 times b minus 4 is equal to 2 times 3b plus 4. Two things here. Put it in parentheses. 2 times 3b plus 4. Okay, now at this point, if you're wondering, does it matter which one we put first? The answer is no. If we wanted to instead write this one first, 2 times 3b plus 4 is equal to 3 times b minus 4, that would work as well. Doesn't matter which one that we write first. Okay, so get rid of the parentheses. 3 times b gives me 3b. 3 times negative 4 gives me negative 12, equal to 2 times 3b gives me 6b. 2 times 4 gives me plus 8. Okay, we're going to get all of my b's to one side. I like my variables being on the left-hand side, so I'm going to subtract 6b from both sides. So I'll get negative 3b minus 12 is equal to positive 8. I'm going to move all my constants to the other side. So I'm going to add 12 to both sides, and I'll get negative 3b will equal 20. And now to finish it out, to get b alone, I'm going to divide by negative 3. So they'll cancel out here. So b will equal 20 over negative 3. Now with this thing, whenever we're dealing with a negative with a fraction, it doesn't matter if we write the fraction in front or write the negative in front. If we write the negative with the top, or if we write the negative with the bottom. All of these will be the same thing. Normally, though, we'll just more commonly write the negative sign with the top, okay? But negative sign in front of the fraction, negative sign in the numerator, or negative sign in the denominator would all mean the same thing. They would all be negative 20 over 3. All right, number 5. B minus 8 over 5 is equal to b plus 3 over 4. Cross multiply. 5 times b plus 3, put it in parentheses, is equal to 4 times b minus 8, put it in parentheses. Okay, get rid of the parentheses by distributing. 5 times b gives you 5b. 5 times 3 gives you 15. 4 times b gives you 4b. 4 times negative 8 gives you negative 32. Get all your b's to one side. I'm going to subtract 4b from both sides. So this will give me 1b plus 15 is equal to negative 32. Now, get all your constants to the other side. I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. So this gives me b is equal to negative 32 minus 15 will give me negative 47. Okay, we got one more. Number 6. W plus 3 over 4 is equal to W over 2. We're going to solve this proportion by cross multiplying. 4 times W, 4 times W, is equal to 2 times W plus 3. Two things, put them in parentheses. 2 times W plus 3. 4 times W is just 4W. Distribute the 2W plus 6. Going to get all my W's on one side. So I'm going to move them over here to the left by subtracting 2W. 4W minus 2W is 2W. This will equal 6. 2W equals 6. You're going to undo 2W by dividing by 2. And we will get that W will equal 3.